because they have been trained in the field of function, where you must obey to learn. You follow? You can't just...
Oh, yes. No, it has its own laws built in.
It has its own disciplines.
Exactly.
It has its own laws, its own ways. Because I have been trained that way, I bring that over here into the field of religion, to the field of something that demands freedom. Freedom not at the end, right from the beginning. Mind must be free from authority from the beginning. If I want to find out what is God, not I believe in God, that's no meaning. If there is God, if there is no God, I really want to find out. I am terribly serious. And if I am really serious, I am really concerned to the understanding, learning about God, if there is God, I must push aside completely all the beliefs, all the structure, all the churches, all the priests, all the books, all the things that thought has put together about religion. You follow?
Yes, I do. I've been thinking very hard about your word intelligence and the word truth in relation to what you've been saying. And the passage from the Gospel came to my mind, which would end up, I think, with a very different exegesis in terms of what you've been saying if one applied what you've been pointing to this text. When he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth, and the truth shall make you free. The truth is called a spirit here. And in the very same St. John's Gospel, God is also called spirit. Radical act. Not this spirit over there, out there, somewhere that I've projected. If one takes seriously, the terrible thing is that it hasn't been taken seriously.
Because we are not allowed to be serious, sir.
That we can't even be serious about the thing that is claimed we must be the most serious about.
That's just it.
Yes, I know. I know what you mean.
We are not serious about our children. We don't feel responsible for them. Right through life. Only when they're till they're 4, 5, 6, we're responsible. You know, after that they can do what they want. So, freedom and authority cannot possibly exist. Freedom and intelligence go together. And intelligence has its own innate, natural, easy discipline. Discipline in the sense of not of suppression, control, imitation, all that, but discipline which is the act of learning all the time.
In attention.
Yes, in attention.
In attention.
Yeah.
This intelligence that you speak of is associated with splendor, isn't it?
Yes.
Its advent is immediate, not gradual.
No, of course not. The perception is intelligence.
The perception is intelligence, and the perception is the act.
Of course.
So the act, intelligence, beauty, love, truth, freedom,
and death, all the
order,
one.
They form a complete, total, integral movement in act. That in itself, looked at positively, is even, once it's translated into a concept,
then it's no longer that.
Becomes in itself an occasion for terror again.
Of course.
Because it seems that it runs away too fast from you.
Yes.
As soon as you... Yes, I see. Isn't that marvelous? It's as though these that you've mentioned, beauty, intelligence, love, freedom,
and death,
have, so to speak, secured themselves against all tomfoolery.
Yes, sir. Tomfoolery, quite right.
They have just They are so radically pure. Any foolery.
So that means, can the mind put aside totally all the structure of thought with regard to religion? It can't put away the function of thought in the field of knowledge. That's what I've understood, that's very clear. But here there is something I don't know, we don't know. You follow, sir? We pretend we know. When the man says there is Jesus is Savior or whatever, it is a pretension. It is saying, I know and you don't know. What do you know in the name of heaven? You know nothing. You just repeat what you have learned from somebody else. So can the mind, in the field of religion, which is the most, because religion is, as we said at the beginning, the gathering of all energy in that quality of attention. And it is that quality of attention that regenerates man. That brings about real transformation in man with regard to his conduct, his behavior, his whole way of relationship. Religion is that factor, not all this foolery that's going on. Now, to inquire, mind must put aside all the structure of thought built around that word.
Yes, I do.
Can one do it? If not, we are pretending, talking about God, no God, yes God, all that nonsense that is going on. So that's the first question. Can the mind be free of the authority of another? However great, however sublime, however divine or no divine. You follow?
And because an act is required in order to answer this question.
Absolutely.
The individual must do this on his own.
Otherwise he merely lives in a routine of function, which he has, which he's still doing, and therefore he escapes into all these circuses, which he calls religion.
This came home to me with great dramatic force yesterday in class. On the one hand, we have textbooks. Textbooks which have survived the centuries because of their classical value in that sense. And the usual way in which this material is taught is that one learns, let us say, something about the Chinese vision of life. Then we have the Hindu vision of life, and then we have, and so we accumulate over a long period of time through school, clear through graduate school, if you hang in there long enough, you can stand it. You come into possession of
what other people have said.
What other people have said.
But you know nothing about it.
Exactly. You acquire certain skills in the order of function, as you've mentioned. Now the teacher has a problem. I'm thinking of these schools that you have referred to in India and the one that will be in Ojai. There is a body of material here. Clearly, the teacher must be in possession of knowledge in the order of functional operation, procedural techniques and so forth. He simply has to know. The child is going to read books.
Of course.
In these schools that you've mentioned, is going to read.
They do.
They read books. Books, all of them haven't been written necessarily by somebody who is undertaking to do the thing that goes on between the students and the teachers in these schools. Now the teacher must handle this written material in books in a way